Hello, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pleb is back. In this report, the Indian media are absolutely going off on Justin Trudeau after this latest diplomatic beef with India and are now accusing him of being on drugs all the time. You won't want to miss this report. Stick around. Before we start this report, please smash the subscribe button because I am going to tell you the news that the mainstream media won't. Well, folks, you guys know this already if you've been watching my channel, but the Indian media are truly something else, and anytime Canada gets into a diplomatic beef with India, the Indian media ruthlessly attack Trudeau and accuse him of all kinds of crazy things. Like the last time Trudeau was in India, the media accused him of having drugs on his plane, that the sniffer dogs smelled them, and that's why his plane couldn't take off.
Credible क्या कहते हैं rumors हैं कि इसके जहाज में से कोकेन मिली थी हमारे sniffer dogs को.
So yes, the Indian media accused Trudeau of having drugs on his plane and the sniffer dogs finding it. And they even took it further when they accused him of being so messed up on drugs that he locked himself in a room and had to skip the G20 dinner because he was partying too hard. So that was 1 year ago today. Now let's fast forward it to 2024. And in this latest diplomatic beef with India, well, the media are going hard on Trudeau once again. As CBC Watcher says here, the Indian media are on a hit piece rampage on Trudeau. As you can see here by one of the biggest newspapers in India, the Times of India, they're now running articles asking if Fidel Castro is Justin Trudeau's father. He really pissed off the Indians. And the Indian media weren't done just there, as they are once again accusing Trudeau of being a drug addict. Yes, just like they did in 2023. They're now saying on Indian media television that Trudeau is high all the time. Watch.
Minister Justin Trudeau spewed venom against Bharat and also the RSS. Jagmeet Singh's statement said, "We are calling on the government of Canada yet again to put diplomatic sanctions against Bharat in place, ban the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh network in Canada." So is he the one who's going to call the shots? I guess listening patiently to the entire backgrounder and explainer, we had to put it out there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll also put out a flowchart of who these leaders are, who in Canadian polity, all of them connected to Khalistanis, all of them connected to wanted entities in Bharat. That's the flowchart, and we'll go full frame in that. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Senior Fellow IPCS with us. Ambassador Deepak Vora is sitting right next with me. Ramneek Singh Maan, activist with us. And Noah Weisbord, Associate Professor at McGill University and author. Daniel Boardman, journalist, should also be joining us in just a bit. My namaste to everybody. Ambassador Deepak Vora, your first thoughts before I go across outside to our other panelists.
May I shake your hand?
Yes, surely, sir. Namaste, sir. Thank you.
What a pleasure to be with you, sir, and on your amazing channel. You are the best, and your channel, of course, is absolutely tops. Let me put it across to you very bluntly. I was 38 years in the Ministry of External Affairs, ambassador in 6 countries, served in 7 others, and I've been 51 years in diplomacy and counting. Now, this character, just out Trudeau, why has he done what he has? You have referred to a character called Jagmeet Singh, who used to be a partner to this chap, but then withdrew, I think last month, his support from the government, saying, "I've torn up the agreement." Sir, just out Trudeau, always on a drug-induced high. He lacks 2 basic requirements of...
What? What? The ex-diplomat is saying that Trudeau is always on a drug-induced high? Wow. Whoa. They are pissed.
his support from the government, saying, "I've torn up the agreement." Sir, just out Trudeau, always on a drug-induced high. He lacks 2 basic requirements of a diplomat or of a citizen, of a human being. First is self-esteem. Second is self-confidence. Self-esteem. What did Jagmeet say? The man is a hypocrite and a crook. And Justin Trudeau, thank you for complimenting me. And he stays on and he keeps...
This guy's pretty funny.
Is a hypocrite and a crook. And Justin Trudeau, thank you for complimenting me. And he
Yo, they're ripping Jagmeet. This is great.
stays on and he keeps begging this guy to support him. Self-confidence. When I was posted in the United States in the mid-80s, so we've been through that period. Every time I had a problem with my neighbor, Pagalistan, I used to go complaining to the Americans, look what this guy's doing, look what this, very bad, very bad, very bad. We don't do it anymore. And this character, the first thing he does last year, we will talk to our allies and friends and the 5 blind men of Englistan and we'll complain about you. So much so, sir, that I was told in New York that his foreign minister, another stupid lady, she even went around the UN building.
He just referred to Melanie Jolie as a very stupid lady. This guy is on fire.
Much so, sir, that I was told in New York that his foreign minister, another stupid lady, she even went around the UN building catching hold of every janitor and waiter saying, I want to brief you about what India is doing. What is going on? Have you guys no self-respect? Have you lost it? What are you trying to do? Let me conclude by saying, building a relationship between two countries takes a lifetime. Destroying it takes less than a year. Mr. Trudeau, you have proved it. And please, if you understand English, I am going to talk to my lawyer by naming Sanjay, who was my successor in Sudan where I was ambassador, by naming Sanjay Verma and 6 others, you have endangered their lives. I am going to ask an Indian court to issue a summons to you for endangering the lives of Indian diplomats. Protect yourself if you can.
Well, Delhi.
Wow. This guy, that sounds like a threat. Damn. Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I am on board with him putting threats against the leader of our country, as stupid as Trudeau is. But the guy does make some good points. Melanie Jolie is definitely dumber than a bag of rocks. And, well, about the other thing with the drugs, well, I'll leave that one up to you. There's no proof. And now on Indian News TV, they're also accusing Justin Trudeau of using this India allegation as a complete distraction as to what's going on in his own country.
The last 24 hours have been the worst for relations between India and Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has bitten off way more than he can chew by deciding to wage a diplomatic war with India. After openly lying about a conversation with Modi at the recent ASEAN summit in Laos, Trudeau has displayed his signature insecurity by deploying Canada's government machinery to continue the ambiguous allegations that were first made by him last year over the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada. Only this time, Trudeau is even more of a laughingstock because nearly everyone, including his own party, sees his move as a laughably obvious attempt to distract from the whirlpool that threatens to sink his domestic political career. In recent months, Trudeau has found himself grappling with a series of domestic issues that have significantly dented his political standing and threatened his future career in politics. Record low popularity ratings, a rebellion by 20 MPs from his own party demanding Trudeau's ouster, humiliating defeats in recent by-elections in bastions, his own ally Jagmeet Singh abandoning him, not wanting to be dragged down by Trudeau, a worsening housing crisis in Canada, public anger over rising prices and crime, and damning proof of Chinese interference in previous elections won by Trudeau have all made the Canadian Prime Minister a deeply unpopular, very desperate man who badly needs a distraction.
Wow, he cooked there. Say what you guys want, but we're now getting in a diplomatic war with India over Hardeep Nijjar, who they're calling a Canadian citizen, was a man who tried to illegally enter Canada 3 times. And they still let him have his citizenship. And this is a man who was on the no-fly list. And now we're getting into a beef with 1.4 billion Indians over this dude? And according to Indian media, Moning Singhwal, spokesperson for the BC Guatemala Council, thinks it's racist and whiteness when we bring up the fact that Najjar tried to get into our country 3 times illegally with fake documents. Watch.
But I did want to touch on all of that. And I wanted to mention one thing here. There's some horrible, as expected, reporting that goes on around Baji's death. But one of them was around this idea of how he arrived in Canada. This refugee status and these false refugee claims. And, he was, and we sent in responses to some of those media outlets and things like that, just questioning the whiteness of these conversations.
What? What did he the whiteness of these conversations? It's a white thing that we don't want people coming into our country with illegal papers, with forged documents, literally committing fraud. But white people care about that? No. Regular, sane people care about that. These people are absurd.
Of these conversations, that you came here hundreds of years ago, raping, pillaging, and plundering this land, and you're going to talk to us as we seek our sovereignty and and limit this guy's entire life to a refugee claim you think went bad. But I didn't want to.
What a clown! What a clown! So he's justifying us settling in Canada hundreds of years ago as raping and pillaging. And according to him, it's okay for, terrorists to come in our country on illegal documents because we came here like 200 years ago. Like I'm not understanding their logic. This is just woke trash. This is truly why I can't stand woke people. I mean, their brains always automatically divert to making it about race instead of making it about facts, which are very clear in the case of Najjar, who came here illegally 3 times, and somehow Trudeau's government still allowed him to stay. Incredible. But I'm going to leave you guys on a laugh here on this news report because I think I respect Modi more than I respect Trudeau. He's literally protecting us against terrorists more than Trudeau does, and he just keeps importing terrorists into our country. And for the laugh of the night, it's funny to me how Modi shows up to this photo op wearing a dress and somehow still looks more masculine than Trudeau. All right, guys, before we wrap, tell me in the comments down below, do you believe the Indian media when they say that Trudeau is high out of his mind all the time? Do you think they're just trying to slander him? I really want to know what you guys think about these claims in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed today's report, please subscribe to my channel, drop a comment for the algorithm, hit the like button, and if you really like me, you could buy a membership for $5 Canadian. If you know anything about our money, it's practically worthless. My name is the Pleb, and I'll see you at the next report. Peace.